Hey guys, Bowflex Barbie here, also known as the Fit Foodie, and I'm super excited to be here today. Now you guys know me for fitness. I am not a professional chef, I will say that. I honestly am not a chef at all, but I do love food and I love to eat, so I've coined myself as the Fit Foodie. And you guys know how important nutrition is when it comes to your fitness journey as well. A lot of times people think that you have to eat bland food, boring food, and people sometimes become prisoners to their nutrition and to their diet. And so I'm here to show you that eating healthy doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice taste, flavor, and enjoyment of your food. So what I'll be preparing today is a steak in a mushroom sauce served with a side of mashed sweet potatoes and a nice warm bell pepper salad. Now I selected this meal today because it is quick, it is easy, it is simple. I'm not someone that likes to spend a whole lot of time in the kitchen, but I do love my food to be nice and flavorful, and this meal is definitely that. And so I'm also, like I said, into fitness. I'm in the gym almost every day, and so getting my protein in is super important, which we get through the lovely steak. And I like nice complex carbs from the mashed sweet potato, and the warm bell pepper salad really just helps to brighten up the whole dish. It also gives us nice vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants in that warm bell pepper salad. So we're gonna dive into preparing our steak. I'm going to start by turning my burner on. And we're going to heat our cast iron skillet. I'm gonna add some olive oil to my pan. You can use whatever oil you prefer, preferably something that has a high smoke point like avocado or olive oil. And we're gonna make sure we have that nice and fully coated. As that heats up, I'm going to start cutting my steak into nice thin strips. Now I love a nice juicy steak. Whenever I'm having steak, it brings me back to grilled steak. I love steak off the grill. I'm not a grill master, so I often don't grill it myself, but I do remember, especially around 4th of July, when I was still in university, we would grill steaks. We'd throw steaks on the grill. That was definitely a tradition that just kind of brought people together. Great conversation, great food, great people. And so every time I have steak, I kind of remember those great times. And now we're gonna drop it in for a very short time because we are gonna bring it back a little bit later in our recipe. And we're going to let it simmer for a minute on each side. So we don't want it to get too well cooked. Just kind of getting those flavors out of it because we're gonna put our broth for our sauce in shortly after this. We're gonna keep an eye on it. We're gonna go about a minute on each side. I did bring my heat down a little bit, so I'm gonna bring it back up to about a medium. And we're gonna let it cook on both sides. One of my personal favorite independence memories growing up, we would go to the beach, my whole family, and my dad would take the grill. We'd have steaks, we'd have ribs, we'd have all these great meats fresh off the grill, and we'd spend the whole day at the beach just kind of enjoying all that he was cooking up. And so steaks kind of take me back there too. And now we're just gonna flip over to the opposite side. They spent a minute on that first side. And we're flipping them over. I'm also gonna bring my heat down just a little bit. Once we've got a minute on each side, we've got a couple more seconds here. We're gonna take these out of our pan and place them onto the side, and we're gonna start working on our sauce. All right, now that we have let our steak strips cook on both sides for about a minute, we're gonna remove them from our pan. And I'm placing them over onto the side. And they're going to rest here as we get into cooking our sauce. And then we're gonna add these steak strips back in. So as you can see, we are cooking today, well, I'm cooking today, on the beautiful Paradise Island. You can see behind me beautiful views. And a fun fact about Paradise Island is that in 1987, For 1 year, former President Donald Trump actually owned the Paradise Island Casino, and then he sold it to Merv Griffin. You know him from Jeopardy, from Wheel of Fortune, and that's a pretty cool fact. So as you can see, not only are we close to the US in proximity, but we also share these ties through food, through culture, and through history. All right, so now that we've removed our steak strips, we're gonna start working on our sauce. I'm adding in some crushed garlic, and with that, I'm adding in my mushrooms. And we still have some really great flavors in the pan from our steak strips and some remnants of the oil. I did strain a little bit of the oil out. If you do find that you have a lot of excess oil in there, you can do the same. But you do want to leave some of it for that flavor and to help keep our pan nice and coated for our mushrooms and garlic. We're gonna let these saute for a few minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and add in our beef broth. So diving a little bit deeper into some of these connections, we also share with the US. We've got Lenny Kravitz, whose mother was Rexy Roker, who was on The Jeffersons, Estelle Rule, who was on Good Times. We also share the famous actor, Sir Sidney Poitier, who actually has a bridge that connects Paradise Island, Nassau, named after him. All right, so now that our mushrooms and our garlic have simmered down, we're going to add our beef broth into our pan. So another great tradition that connects the Bahamas and the US is the very popular Stranded Naked event that happens yearly on the island of Abaco. Now this weekend pulls in American boaters from all over the US, and they come all the way to Abaco to bring in the 4th of July. I think that that is a beautiful and amazing way to bring in the 4th of July and just to celebrate in general right here in the beautiful islands of the Bahamas.
Showman E-Bistro, the restaurant where the sophisticated and savvy foodie can indulge in multicultural inspired dishes with a fusion of flavors, giving you taste experiences that are new and satisfying. It's the ultimate Showman experience. The hottest and trendiest spot in town with ultra chic and sexy vibes. Showman E-Bistro, the restaurant, 85 Mackey Street, open Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., offering free delivery. Call 603-SHOW or order online at showmanebistro.com.
All right, so now that our sauce has come to a nice simmer, we've let it simmer for a few minutes, we're going to add in our seasoning. We've got some very simple seasonings. We've got some salt. We've also got some black pepper. And I am a fan of spice, so I'm adding in some crushed red pepper flakes. And we're going to mix all of that up and allow that to simmer for another few minutes. And we'll also add back in our steak strips that have been off to the side. All right, and we're gonna mix all of that together, making sure that our steak strips are nicely coated with our lovely mushroom sauce. It smells so good. Wish y'all could smell it. And once we've got it nice and mixed up, we're gonna let that all simmer together so all those flavors blend. So now that this is done simmering, we're gonna remove this pan to the side, let it sit, and we're gonna work on our second side, our warm bell pepper salad. So for our warm bell pepper salad, we're starting with our pan. I've got a little bit of olive oil in the pan. We're gonna let that get nice and warm at about a medium heat. And once that heats up, we're going to add in, I've chopped some green, yellow, and red bell peppers to add in. What I love about this side, it gives your dish a nice pop of color, but our bell peppers also help us to get some antioxidants and some vitamins in. And so as that gets nice and hot, we're going to add our peppers in. Here, nice and sizzly. And this is such a quick side as well, because we don't want them to cook too much. We want to still have that nice crunch. They add a nice texture to this meal as well. So we don't want them to cook all the way through, just enough to get our seasonings and our flavors infused in there. So I'm gonna bring this heat down just a little bit more. And as I do that, I'm gonna add in some lemon juice. I'm also gonna add in a few onions. Just a few. And we're stirring as we add all those in. I'm also going to add some red pepper flakes. A little bit of my crushed garlic as well. A little bit of salt. And then a small bit of pepper. Now we're gonna mix all of this together. Again, we don't want them to be too soft. So we're gonna do a quick toss. Get those flavors out. And we're gonna finish with just a little dash of red wine vinegar. Let me bring the heat down just a little bit more. Make sure everything is nicely stirred. And our beautiful, vibrant, warm bell pepper salad is done, just like that.
Showman Bistro is committed to ensuring your money goes a long way, and we're so proud to announce our Showman Meal Kit. Our meal kits contain the produce and meat you need to prepare up to 7 dinners for families as large as 5. With corporate partners like Hands for Hunger, we are positive we can reach even more families in need. We also believe in local sustainability, with local farmers providing 100% of our produce. Please visit our Instagram and Facebook pages and our website, showmanibistro.com, for more information.
Now we're getting into the fun stuff. We're getting ready to plate and enjoy. So like I told you earlier, we're having our steak and mushroom sauce with our mashed sweet potatoes. I went ahead and did this ahead of time. Super simple. I diced 2 large peeled sweet potatoes. I put it in a large pot of water for about 25 minutes, and then I took a nice masher, I mashed them, added a little bit of butter and a little bit of honey to give it a nice creamy and sweet flavor, and we're gonna go ahead and add this to our plate. Again, I love smashed sweet potato. I love sweet potato in general because it's a great complex carb, meaning it's not gonna spike our glycemic index, not gonna cause us to add or pack on any unwanted pounds, but we still get the filling and enjoyment of having carbs, because carbs are not the enemy, remember that. All right, so we're adding our mashed sweet potato, and then the star of the show, our beautiful steak and mushroom sauce, adding that to the top. Make sure we get some beautiful mushrooms on there too. And adding our nice pops of color with our warm bell pepper salad. I'm gonna add a little bit of beautiful arugula to the outside. If you're someone that loves spring mix and greens like me, then this is also a great addition. Quick, simple, and easy that you can add to your plate to give it a little more texture, a little more color, and some great added nutritional value as well. All right, and just like that, we've got our beautiful steak and mushroom sauce on our bed of mashed sweet potatoes with a side of warm bell pepper salad. When I think about 4th of July in the US, I remember great barbecue, great people, great music, and Independence here is pretty similar, but we have amazing views, amazing food, and amazing friends. Let's cheers to that.
Cheers. Cheers.